Stream is starting. All right, all right, all right. We are live. Finally, guys. Finally, and give me a second, man, just to make sure that we're live. It's funny how I got a notification on my phone telling me that I'm live. Very interesting. All right, guys. So we're gonna make it happen here, man. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, let some of you guys get up in here, and we'll give you the lowdown as to what we're gonna talk about tonight. We won't be on as long tonight, obviously. As you can see, we're starting super late. But we have some important business to take care of, Smitty and I. We'll leave it at that. You know, there was an important meeting that we had to attend. We attended it, and now we're here. So what our plans will be, guys, it's funny how things work out like this. We'll probably do just an hour tonight. Sure you guys will forgive us for that. But it's currently 9:30 right now. We'll run till 10:30, and then we'll let that be that. All right, so bear with us for a moment, guys. I'm just waiting for some of you guys to get in here. I see we got about 13 people in here now. What's up, Zulu? What up, Phillips? Marcus Davis? And we're just giving you guys a quick second, another minute or two to get some more people up in here that probably expected us to be on at 8 o'clock. So again, we apologize for that, man. But in the real world, we all know how it goes, man. Sometimes there's things thrown at you, and you got to do what you got to do. All right, so how's everybody doing so far tonight, man? Sound off in the comments. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Once again, just to let you guys know, hey, we're going to give you an hour tonight. We're going to run from 9:30 to 10:30. We apologize again for our tardiness, but we're here now. We had some important meetings that we had to attend, but now let's get it started. So welcome to the Sim Standard Podcast, episode 191. And now I'm going to read to you guys, man, what our comments will actually, not comments, but what our topics will be for tonight. The main thing we want to talk about, man, is are we looking for the flawless games? And I basically want to go into how nowadays it seems like, people look for flaws more so than recognizing the good in the game. So we'll dive into that a little bit. Also want to talk about the NFL rule changes, and maybe we'll do that first. Talk about a couple of the rule changes, as well as, maybe not all of them. I'll probably just mention two. But we'll kind of talk about the ones that we feel like are the most impactful. And, we'll do that because I haven't looked over the list of all of them, but I definitely have one or two in mind I want to discuss. And I'm sure Smitty may have some, or he may have a comment on some of the ones. Maybe we share the same comments. And then also we want to talk about, and shout outs to one of our guys who view us quite often. I think it was Caleb Stent, I believe. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. But he wanted us to talk about season mode in Madden. And I'm assuming he's referring to just a one season, like basically like all pro football was. So we'll kind of talk about whether or not that should be an option, whether or not we like that idea, or, just give our thoughts on that opinion. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about. So since we don't have as much time tonight, Smitty, we can go ahead and jump right into it. I'll actually throw it to you first. And let's go ahead and talk about the NFL topic. We can get that out of the way really quick. I'm not sure if you had a chance, Smitty, to see all of the rule changes, but I'm sure you've heard of some of the major ones. So what are your thoughts on a couple of the rule changes that we know already? Is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing as far as the ones that you know about?
To be quite honest, I haven't even checked. So you'd have to take the lead on that one because I don't even know what the rule changes are. Like, what did they switch up?
Well, a couple things. Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about it first, and then, Smitty can comment on it. And also, guys, be a part of it. Let us know down in the comments if there's some other rule changes that we don't mention, because I'm only going to mention two. If there's some that you guys know of that I don't, necessarily talk about here, please do it so we can chime in on that. But here's the first one. The rules of the catch. The catch rules have now been modified, which now basically eliminates the player going to the ground. And it's what I always thought anyway, and I'm not saying it just because obviously I'm a huge Steelers fan, but Jesse James caught the football. So did Dez Bryant against Green Bay. So basically now, Smitty, what they actually I have a note of it. Hold on, give me a second. I can read to you the exact rule because I talked about it here on Terrible Towel Tuesday. Let me pull up my notes. All right, it says here, the new catch rule, what defines a catch is control of the ball, number 1, 2 feet down or any other body part, a football move such as a third step, or reaching or extending for the line to gain. And it says, or the ability to perform such act. And then in quotations, it basically said the key change to the rule eliminated the going to the ground element of the previous rules. So again, sharing my thoughts on this one really quick. It's common sense. We all could see that what Dez Bryant did, in my opinion, I would have called it a catch. It could be questionable, but the man came down with it and extended the ball out. To me, he had control. Whether the ball came loose once he hit the ground and it popped up, so what? The Jesse James catch, just to prove to you guys that I'm not just a biased Steelers fan, because let me get this out of the way as well. It doesn't mean that the Steelers would have went to the Super Bowl. No. Still doesn't mean that they would have won their playoff game. But I would have liked to have had the actual win against the Patriots because the Patriots have owned the Steelers the last several years. Let's be honest about it. But that was a catch. Jesse James brought the ball in, knee hit the ground, and then he extended. Even with the old rules, the catch should have been over when the knee touched. So then he should have been established as a quote-unquote runner, and he did it all in one motion. In, extend, catch. Now, for those who say, oh, well, he kind of lost control when he hit it did. And I even said, the ball did move, but you still couldn't necessarily see whether it touched the ground or not. And, his hand wasn't still there. But anyway, this now completely eliminates that. And in my eyes, Dez caught the ball. Jesse James caught the ball. Common sense tells all of us that it looked like a catch. Now it will be a catch. So glad about that one. Now, this rule, Smitty, let me throw this one at you. This one kind of is rubbing me a little bit the wrong way. Head-to-head contact now is extending throughout the field. It's no longer just a defenseless receiver. Now they're saying that if the head-to-head contact takes place anywhere at any point, running back, whatever, it's a personal foul.
What?
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit because listen to me, man. I play football. A lot of you guys watching may have played football. And even if you didn't play football, you watch it and you understand this element of it. Once I break down to tackle you, I have no control over if your helmet's going to hit my helmet. That is stupid to me. I get the whole safety. I get the safety side of things. Don't get me wrong. I think the game should be much safer. The worst thing I hate seeing is these guys having these numerous concussions. I mean, whether they get CTE or not, you never know. That's always a risk. But I just hate to see somebody get hurt where your brain was jarred. That's just not a good thing. But, I mean, sometimes things just happen. I've always felt like there needs to be a way to review the intent. And I know some people might say, oh, it could slow the game down. I get it, but just imagine, even with the old rules, with the defenseless receiver, right? How much better would it have been when a big call? We saw it. That was clear as day, the one in, the New England one against Gronk when they played the Jags. But how much better would it be if you could go back and look at that play and say, you know what? The defender didn't necessarily lead with their helmet. They just went down to tackle. Offensive guy went down to protect himself. Their helmets hit. Boom. We're not going to say that was done purposely. No foul. Because if you just leave it up to if the helmets touch and you're not going off of intent, I don't like it. Because think about it. Since we've been watching football the last couple years, how many times have we seen the flag come out? And it's just because of the reaction. They see this bang, bang play, and then the flag comes out. You look at the replay, guy's shoulder hits the head or whatever, or the offensive guy goes down first. I just don't like that rule, man, especially for ball carries. Now I'm cool with the, the crown of the helmet thing. I like that. And that to me is they almost had it right with the leading with the crown of the helmet because you can see the intent. So I feel like they should have stuck with that. To okay, it's gonna be a foul now, but we're now gonna go back and review this person's intent because again, tackle football, I don't know where my helmet is gonna end up once I go into my tackle. But there you have it. And here's the third one, Smitty. Now you guys can correct me in the comments. I don't know if this one actually has been passed. I did hear Mike Tomlin say that they were gonna vote on this one, but they're thinking about bringing the 15-yard penalty into play when it comes to pass interference and not spotted a foul. I don't know how I feel about that one. I could go either way, but my initial feeling would be, I don't know if I like just the 15. Let me tell you why. And let's all be unselfish and let's not think about just our own team. This is why I don't like it. I'm a safety. Listen, I play strong safety. And I know this guy, I'm beat. I'm toast. I'm going to hold him, grab him. I'm doing whatever I can because I know the most you're going to give him is 15 yards. But what if he's way down the field? What if it's the 3-yard line? I think if you interfere with somebody where it's enough contact to where the man can't make the catch, give him the ball right there. Because his opportunity was taken away. But like I said, if I'm on the defense and I know this, that's a strategy for me. We on the 35-yard line. On you on your own 35. What's giving you 15 yards? I mean, heck, what's giving you 15 yards when you on our 35? And I interfere with you on the 1. You see what I mean? And I don't know how this would play, but I don't know if that would play into the end zone rule. I guess the end zone rule would still be the same if it's an interference in the end zone. I guess you still would get it at the 1, so maybe that's a non-factor. But again, what if I'm interfered on the 2-3 yard line and y'all was on the 35? Excuse me. Hey, if I'm a defender, I'd rather give you that and make you play for the field goal instead of giving you the ball on the 2. So I don't like that one. In the last one, Smitty, and I don't think this will happen this year, but there's also rumblings of a proposal of removing kickoffs completely. One of the NFL owners spoke up on it, and I can't remember which team, but he's in huge favor of completely getting rid of the kickoffs, which will probably be in next couple years if that were to happen. That's not this season, but I don't know if I like that one either, man. But what are your thoughts on the first 3 rules that I mentioned, man, as far as changes? Like I said, the pass interference one, I don't know myself if that's been, confirmed yet. I just know it's something that they were going to be talking about. Okay.
Now see the pass interference here, that'd be crazy because like what Kia had just said, and even though you said it too. Basically, DBs and such will do that purposely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? End of the game situation. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Stack the box up. Because see, the thing is, the closer you make it, let's say the closer you make it to the end zone or whatever, the harder it is going to be to make that pass. So, that would be the bad part about it because you could do that and you're just moving them upfield and they got to do the same play again. Whereas the spot the foul took place at, that's where it needs to happen. What did they do at this spot on the field where the ball was thrown? That's where the infraction happens. So that's what they need to do. Need to leave it at that. I hope they don't pass that. The crowning joint, I mean, helmet to helmet contact across the field. See, this is what I'm saying. The NFL is a dynamically chaotic sport. And you want to put, hey, I give props to the guys trying to you got to tackle within this small vicinity already. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have split-second reaction time and go ahead and do it. But then now you're talking about just any contact across the board like that in general is a foul. That the game is going to be dictated by a penalty. See, that's the funny thing about it. When dudes come up here and say, we can't sit up here and say, like, in a minute, football is going to be about penalties. Penalties is going to matter just as much as team production. So you're going to sit up there and say, no, it doesn't matter how many penalties it is. You still got to win, even despite the penalties. No, those penalties are going to kick in, and they're actually going to matter. They're going to play an influential role in terms of the overall outcome of these games. I mean, they do now, but what I'm saying is making these kind of changes are going to make more of an impact. So I don't like I don't like that. The catching, yes, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Johnson, Des Bryant.
I forgot about
you know what
Calvin.
I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Yeah. All that stuff is justified. Thank goodness. Golly, geez, that's that's crazy. All right, let's see now. What does he say? Oh, okay. See, like what Dez up here saying about Ed Reed hurting himself. He tried not to hit Vernon Davis too high, and he tweaked his knee. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, oh snap, I can't do this. Like, you wear the protective gear for a reason. I mean, I understand, I get it, but that's the risk you take by playing the sport. That's why you demand to make so much. That's why these players hold out and demand to take so much cash, and dudes consider retiring at 4 or 5 years into their career. So they'll take what they can get and get out. But when you look at, what was I about to say? What was the other rule? Yeah, just said it. The catching, the hitting, the pass interference, and then the non-kickoff.
Oh, the kickoff.
People are saying the kickoff joint. The kickoff, look, honestly, you're not preserving anybody by not doing the kickoff. I mean, look, you got players that go down for the season running, like literally just running, and they go down for the season. They ain't even make contact with players, and they go down. You had Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, heck, that's as freakish as it possibly can be. My man was dropping back for a pass and blew his knee. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when we're, I understand you're trying to keep the sport safe, but it's like, in your pursuit of trying to make the sport safe, you're gonna hurt it, and you're gonna hinder it to the point where people are not really gonna care to watch the sport like that. You know what I'm saying? Because heck, in a minute you might as well be playing two-hand touch and playing flag football out there. I mean, if you really want to keep dudes safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I understand, but it's not a good look, man. I just don't. I don't like that. I don't like that rule in particular. I don't like the whole crowning, the whole helmet contact situation either. I mean, I understand, you want to reduce all these different kind of injuries from happening, but you can't help that. If it happens, it's going to end up happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. I mean, you have guys that'll mess around and play beach football and injure themselves. And they're not playing rough, but at the same time, there still is a level of physicality. And because of that, they could still get themselves hurt. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there, man.
Yeah.
I get it, but at what point? At what point do you just dry it up and say, okay, we ain't gonna have the NFL no more? Because you can't keep. It's but so many tweaks that you can do to a game that was established. Like, how could you change golf? What could you do to it? You know what I mean? Like, it's but so many things you can do before the game that was created is not there anymore. It's non-existent. So again, I'm all in favor for safety and all of that. I mean, even if they did get rid of the kickoffs, you know, there's some benefits, especially with the roster, you know, roster spots. However, what would you do in a situation? And then what about an onside kick? You know, what do you do in a situation where you got to try to get the ball back? You've scored. You need a field goal to win or whatever. A minute and a half left with no timeouts. What do you do? Is that, I mean, will they then throw a rule in there saying, well, you have to score a touchdown on that drive, or because there is not enough time, the game is automatically over? Because how will you get your ball back? So, it's an interesting concept there, man. But, yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. But let me ask you guys another quick question, man, before we jump to the next topic. I was going to save this for next week's Terrible Towel, but I definitely want to just throw this out there to see how you guys feel. So a report came out, man, and said that Le'Veon Bell is asking for $17 million a year. I just wanted to know in the comments really quick, do you pay that money? $17 million a year for a running back. I mean, Le'Veon Bell is the man. Le'Veon Bell is a huge piece of that offense. But I think it's hard to justify that much per year for a back when, I mean, let's face it, the next highest paid guy, I think, is Shady at 8.9 or something like that. But I really think this is the last season that he'll be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I really believe that. I don't know how you can justify $17 million a year. And I know it's going to be some people that say, nah, man, you got to pay him. He's Le'Veon Bell. Bruh. All I can say is Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara. You know, you look at what you're able to get out of a rookie class. You know, you can replace the production with one or two backs. You know, not saying they're gonna be him, but $17 million a year, man. I get why he's asking for it, but bruh, I don't think it's gonna happen. So I just wanted to see what you guys had to say. Interesting. Dez said it's not a running back, it's Le'Veon. I can't do it. What you think, Smitty, real quick before we jump on? It's a rumor, well, not a rumor, but it's been confirmed, basically, reports out there saying that Le'Veon Bell is asking for $17 million a year. Do you pay that to a running back?
No, he out, man. You know what I'm saying? He's out. Because, I mean, he's a bad, look, he's one of the baddest in the league, and I understand. See that, you know what? This goes right back to the point that I was just, that was just talking about. As violent as football is and everything, I can't blame him for demanding that kind of money. But at the same time, he can't guarantee that he's going to be safe and be able to honestly uphold that contract. You know what I'm saying? Said basketball doesn't have, Stop. Basketball and football are two completely different worlds. So it's not even close. And basketball, you come out in high school, in your high school physique, barely muscularly developed, and go ahead and play. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You ain't doing that in no NFL. Yeah. So, but you got to let them go. I mean, like I said, I keep them. I would love to keep him, but see, that's a big risk. That's a big risk.
And I'm not saying, and I want to make sure I'm clear. Never have you heard me bash. I don't blame him. Ask for it. Ask for 20. Are you out there risking your livelihood? Like, honestly, and some people can say, oh, it ain't that extreme. Okay, tell me about Ryan Shazier.
Right, exactly.
You risking your livelihood. I get it. But, and I feel where you coming from, Dez, but at the same time, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, people have to realize, even the people who are in the league, that's the league that you're in. Running backs just don't get that kind of money. And I'm not saying it's fair or not. I'm just saying it's the facts. They don't get that kind of money. Unfortunately, I fully agree. If the quarterback can get paid, why can't receivers, running backs get that $100 million? I fully agree with you. I'm just saying, when you know what it is, it's not going to happen. It ain't happening in Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen. And for me personally, I don't see another team doing it. Not that much. 17? That's a lot of money because you got to think. Steelers tag him this year. He's 27.
Right.
He's going to be 27 next year.
See, the issue is that when you look at a wide receiver, a running back, all that good stuff, when a running back runs down the field, he doesn't have blockers running to the left and right of him every single time with defenders trying to punch through him, i.e. quarterback. That's why the quarterback gets paid so much money. You know what I'm saying? Because they got that wall of protection around them. You know what I mean? They're mainly in the pocket. So they got that wall of protection to keep them. They don't have to create the openings themselves and then throw the ball out there. Like they have some kind of help. So when you look at the running back position, the wide receiver, that's why they treat those positions a bit more disposable, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with a quarterback, there's a heck of a lot more value for that. But like I said, I'm not saying Bell ain't worth the cash. He definitely looked.
I'm not saying that at all.
My man came from MSU. I want him to get the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to get all the bread he could get
Bell
as an MSU
monster.
product.
He's a monster.
He's a beast. But it's, I don't know. It's the sport. The sport's off the chain, man, and it's that risk.
It's tough.
That's what makes it so hard. Look, when you got a guy, what's my man's name? That left from the 49ers. All-pro middle linebacker. His name completely slipped my mind now. But, yeah. No, not Bowman. Not Bowman. Yeah, there it is. When you leave the NFL, I mean, dude is clean in his prime. And you just jet out? No, I'm good. I got this good money. I'm going to get out while I'm fully intact. Ain't got to worry about all that. No, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm going to be smart with my money. I'm good. That tells you something right there. So, yes, I can't blame him 1 second for saying, I want that 17 mil. That's why he said he was considering retiring and stuff like that. I don't blame him. Get paid, man.
Yeah.
Get paid. And get as much guaranteed cash as you can up front. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get it. Shoot. I just think because the NFL has salary caps. See, it's not like baseball. Baseball they have no cap.
Exactly.
So they can do whatever they want. Soccer, as far as I know, they don't have cap. I don't think. I don't know how it is with them, but they have a lot of money. They have a big budget. So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? If football ain't had no cap, I'm like, man, you go for the gusto, man. Get a baseball contract. You know what I'm saying? Go for 200 mil. Try to get a Steph Curry deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, because you're one of the best backs in the game. So, like, yeah.
Here's the thing, and I knew this was going to spawn a little bit of topic, man. I get exactly what Dez is saying. I get exactly what Freddie G is saying. Like, Dez is saying, we keep saying that's how it is. Why can't it be? Listen, if y'all want to talk about why can't it be different, I think what Kirk Cousins did might set a new standard. I think football contracts should be guaranteed, point blank. And if they were guaranteed, it wouldn't be this per year type of thing, especially in Pittsburgh. Because if you know how football works and how your team works, Pittsburgh, the money is made in your signing bonus. That's why it's such a big deal when guys try to get a deal done in Pittsburgh. Because unless they gonna play the whole time, the way they construct their contracts is your signing bonus is generally your guaranteed money. And then if you play out the contract, great. What I'm trying to say is I'm not blaming Le'Veon Bell for asking for that. But the reality is Le'Veon Bell, to me, that's too big of a number to expect that you're going to get right now. That's got to be a gradual thing. Like, there's no way that you're saying that I'm not disagreeing with anybody saying, oh, set a new standard. I get it. But that's not going to happen at the current moment, especially not before the new CBA. I mean, I'm just saying, if they offer them $13 million a year, and reportedly came up this year. It was reported that it could have been as much as $15 million this year. At that point, I get it. Like, that's good money, dog. That's $7 to $8 million more than any other running back. And all I'm saying is, don't be upset if the team that you're currently playing for is not willing to pay that amount. That's all I'm saying. You have to know the game that you're in. I get what everybody is saying, like try to set the new stat. I get all of that. I mean, but it's easy for us to say that sitting here. I get it. But I'm just saying, even if I'm trying to set a new standard, I know it's different ways for me to do it. I need to be hollering at Kirk Cousins people. How y'all do that? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, that's all I'm saying, man. I just think making that big of a leap is almost like cutting your own feet off. There's no way nobody gonna pay you $17 million when the next guy's making 8 to 9. Like, I'm just saying, it's a gradual thing. Let's say he takes that 15, right? Or even if he would have took the 13 to 14, because they at least offering him 14 right now, because they said the deal is more than what it was last year. You set a new market right there, and then now once that market is set, maybe the next guy comes along and say, you know what, I'm a little younger, I'm a monster too, you know, I'm trying to get 16. Then maybe a team would do it, because let's say Bell takes the 14, balls out like he does. Now you have teams saying, okay, maybe running backs, you know, elite running backs are as important again, and the market starts to creep back up. Remember, Adrian Peterson had set a standard. He was getting, what, 14, 15 for a minute. Chris Johnson. Then the market went back down. That's all I'm saying. It's trends, man. It's like the running back got devalued for a minute, and it could be on the come up. It could be coming back up with the crop of backs that's in the league now, especially with a cat like Saquon Barkley coming in this year. You got your Gurleys and these type of dudes, and your Kamaras if he stays healthy, and your Kareem Hunts if he stays healthy through his rookie, you know. And let's not forget this. We got to look at the business side of it. Has Le'Veon Bell, how many times have he been suspended? How many times has he been hurt? How many times has he finished the full season? I'm just saying, listen, I'm not the bad guy. I wish Le'Veon Bell could get that money. I wish their contracts were guaranteed. I wish he could get paid, because I think on the field, yeah, he's worth that. No question. Him and Antonio Brown are like equal to that offense. I get all that. I'm just saying, looking at the big picture, you got to understand the game that you're playing in. You could change the game, but it's all about how you maneuver and changing it. Oh, yeah, I can't forget Zeke either. But, you know, Zeke got that stain on him now. Yeah. But that's all I'm saying. I don't, like I said, I don't want to debate, because you guys have your opinion, I have mine. In my opinion, in my honest estimate, there's no right or wrong. We're all just giving our feelings. So it's not like we're debating. I'm just saying, I understand why the team is not trying to pay that 17. And again, like Smitty said, we can't lose sight of the fact that there's salary cap. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. The salary cap has a lot to do with it. And we all, Steelers fans know, they dangling with cap. So when you factor all of that in, man, it's hard for us to just say, oh, the guy's worth that. Well, yeah, of course. But in the confines of how the game is structured right now, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard for him to get that dough. But let's move on, guys, because we don't have a lot of time tonight here. So the next topic, which is the one most of you probably clicked that button for, you're going to accuse me for the clickbait, click. Let's talk about the flaws. I'll kick it off, Smitty, because there's something that I've been seriously thinking about, man, and I've been watching Twitter. I reflect back to some of the things that I give feedback on, and all of us as a whole. Now, feedback to me has changed quite a bit in the community. And I found it with the release of MLB The Show 18. MLB The Show has its problems. And just to preference this topic, guys, what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to read to you guys what I saw on Operation Sports. Just happened to see this today. This is not where I got the topic from, but this will do very good in terms of delivering what I want to discuss. So they did a quick list. You know, I know it could be more things than this, but they did a quick topic here, and it said, what is and isn't working with gameplay. All right, so I'm going to read all of the good things. The tagging system, hitting, catchers blocking the plate, game feels faster. Now, what's bad? It says so many errors. Batted balls continue to slam into pitches. Now, those are just a couple things. But if you notice, it's more good than bad, right? So here's my point. It seems like now it's gotten to the point, man, where some people just look for flaws. That's it. I've been seeing it, watching the feedback from MLB The Show 18. The first day. Now, I'm not talking about bugs. Because y'all saw, I put a video out saying, hey, where's my pre-order stuff? What happened? You know, and you know, I was directed to email, Sony or whatever. But that's an issue. That's a bug. But I saw in the first day, I saw people saying how bad the game sucks because this is wrong with the batting. This guy doesn't run right. This guy doesn't have his animation. This guy, and I'm like, I get it, but it's like people, it's some segments of people don't take time to appreciate the good in a product. It's just like those people that come at me and Smitty, and maybe even some of you guys that make comments, and they'll say, Madden is complete trash. I don't know why you even waste your time. And I'm like, all right, I feel you. You know, we're probably some of the biggest, you know, complainers when it comes to Madden. And I'm going to include NY Kia in this mix because I know he's right here. Exactly what I'm about to say. I know he's right there with me. But there is things that you can find in the game that's good. I mean, it might not be great, but there's decent things. Like, you can't act like a game doesn't do nothing well. Smitty did streams earlier this week playing NBA Live. And this is another topic, but I think I wanted to go there.
We can roll this in. Roll this in real quick. Yeah, we can. Right,
let's go ahead and do it. And I'm gonna let Smitty take the lead on that part, but I'll just give you
Go ahead.
The brief overview.
Yeah.
So Smitty was battling, and we see this a lot, by the way. And I know, you know, some of the live people probably gonna get offended by this, but listen, it is what it is. We see a lot of live fanboys. And they think that live does everything. Like, they overlook the stuff that happens in live. And they call trash on 2K. And I'm like, wait a minute. Time out. 2K, in my opinion, is miles ahead of live as a whole. Does live do some things, I think, as good as 2K? Yes. Do they do some things possibly better than 2K? I think so. Might be, you know, few and far in between, but I think there's a couple little things in there you could say, I actually like this better than live. But don't act like, you know, that I just don't understand how it's become, and it's the social media, I guess, but how have we become the community that every little thing you see wrong with the game now is just, like, are we demanding perfection? I mean, MLB The Show, to me, listen, I'm not a baseball guy. Let me explain to you guys the position I'm coming from. I'm a novice baseball follower, baseball knowledger. If that ain't even a word, but we're going to make that one up. Knowledger. I don't know much about the intricate details. I mean, hey, a lot of you guys helped me on the stream when I was like, what's SU? What does that stand for? And he was like, oh, that's your setup pitcher. I was like, oh, what's he used for? There's like, you know, that's the guy that usually comes in the 8th. I said, oh, yeah, I have seen that, but I didn't know that. So, but anyway, just from a what do I see on TV standpoint, because y'all know I say this religiously. Simulation to me is how it replicates, how it feels, and how it breathes the sport that I see on TV. MLB The Show does a darn good job of doing that. I mean, outstanding job of doing that. So how is it that, I mean, you just combing through everything until you find a flaw, and then blaming the devs or the creators of the game as if it just has to be perfect. It just don't work like that. Feedback is one thing, so don't get me wrong, guys, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We've all seen them. I'm talking about the straight trolls. This game, I'm like, what are we looking for? All I've ever wanted from a video game is to replicate what I see to the best of its ability. Even when Madden gets to a point where we all enjoy it, guess what? There's still going to be some flaws. It's video games, it's programming, it's computers. And I don't know, maybe I'm just starting to mature a little bit, but it's but so much I can blame somebody for when I have no idea how hard that is to do. You know, as good as MLB The Show is, can you imagine how hard it is to keep all of that code together? Yet they do have legacy problems, server issues. Why is this a problem every year, by the way? Yeah, I got so many replies, people telling me, yeah, that happened. That's an every year thing. What? Come on, man. I mean, see, they all going to have their issues, but why is it that Madden seems to be one of the only games that at least gets the online part of it right? That's very curious to know why that is, but what do you think, Smitty, man? Are we spoiled to the fact that because technology is so good now, that our expectations have actually exceeded the tolerable point to where now its expectation is perfect or nothing?
Yeah, honestly, like to an extent, it's all about perfection is always argued, or it's always going to be chased. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna always be the pursuit. That's why, when you look at anything out here, you look at laundry detergent, you look at exercise programs, you look at gym memberships, you look at all that stuff. Come to our gym. We're the best because it's in the food. We're the best. We're the best with this pizza. Blah 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 blah. We're the best. We're number one. There's always the claims and there's always the press to say to be the best and to get all those great things in the game. And we hear it from the devs, we hear it from everybody. We want this game to be perfect. We want, not perfect, but that's what they strive for. They strive to make it as authentic to the sport as possible. But it's never going to truly reach that. It never truly is going to reach it. Excuse me. It could be better, but it's never going to be true to that. And see, Sim, like what you said, man. People brought up a bunch of MLB the stuff. I mean, MLB The Show to you. They brought up MLB The Show issues as far as how players are running on the base path and things like that. It's like, that's a very minute thing, but at the same time, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this isn't right. Come on, man, y'all jacked up again. Like, those are those intricate things, because the more and more realistic you make the game, people want it to be, they want it to be that authentic. They're looking for that realism because that's what's being promoted in these games. And when it looks like oh man, yo, they captured this guy spot on. Now you're gonna have those particular people have those things to say. Just like with PES, there's intricate detail. Like, we're casual guys with soccer. There was some videos or whatever that NY Kia had sent to us about it. I touched on that last week, but they talk. It goes with the point you're saying about the show. Authenticity, authentically have those players replicated to some of the mannerisms. Oh, this is how he likes to play. This is how he likes to shoot. This is how this guy likes to do this, and this is how this guy likes to do that. And they actually do those things in the game. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know any of that. I'm like, but if I was the hardcore soccer guy, oh yeah, this is how this team plays, and so does that, and these guys are doing this, and blah, blah, blah. I'd be all over it. So that's the whole thing. When we talk about, Madden and everything like that, that's why when we always talk about Madden and we talk about live and stuff like that, is because we see it done elsewhere. So we're like, man, all these other games are capturing the essence of these players virtually. We need to see that done with Madden. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so,
Smitty.
But the game's not rushed, man. I'm like, keep on saying that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not rushed.
I just got a quick question for the chat, and I legitimately want to see your comments. And even when me and Smitty laugh and giggle, it's just humorous. We're not laughing. I want everybody to always know I'm not laughing at you, because everybody's opinion is valid. It's humorous because I'm like, it's nowhere near like what people are thinking.
But you know what? Though, Sim? This is the thing. See, just like the comment, my man, this guy, what's his name, TA, he said Madden will never get it right. All you got to do is you could take Madden out and you could say insert game here will never get it right. You think people aren't saying that about the show right now? There are people that are saying they'd rather have 2K baseball back. There are people that say they'd rather play MVP baseball 05 instead of MLB The Show 18. You got people that say they'd rather play PES instead of FIFA instead of PES. I'd rather play PES back on PlayStation 2 instead of playing what's out right now. There are people all over the place that would say that about all these games. So when we talk about Madden and we bring up old school PS2 versions of Madden and be like, oh man, look what they did and look, how come it ain't like this? There are people that are doing the exact same game with these other games too. You know what I'm saying? Games that spend, and I mean, look, MLB The Show, where that game is at right now, like I've talked about in the past, the development consistency over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Well over a decade of consistency with it, with the development direction. That's huge. Now, we all know things changed up with EA and everything. You didn't stay on the same track. We all know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different story, which we definitely have spoke on in the past. So, but that's more of a generalized statement. But no, the game wasn't rushed at all. Like, we've talked about it already. When you see a game make a move to an engine, look, it's tough. And the game is not going to have everything under the sun that you expect just because it went to a new engine. Like, many people had very high, overinflated expectations for Madden 18 because it went to Frostbite. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and I mean, look, Madden has problems and things like that. Yes, like, I'm going to get back to playing it and stuff like that. Me and Sim have had, like I said, we've been worn down. I feel personally I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled by FIFA and PES and NHL and UFC and MLB The Show and all. I was spoiled by those games because I play those and then I play Madden, and it's like I see where the game's behind that, and I'm like, man, it's hurtful to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hurtful because I'm like, you got games in your house. You know what I mean? Like, that have these core elements that it's like, if Madden can get these in, this would be outstanding to see. You know what I'm saying? And this will help take the game to another level. So,
it's,
you know.
Another part of it, man, I told you that Smitty and I, we take the strong position of, and I know I hate using the word educate because it's like we trying to teach you something, but you know, for lack of a better term, there is things that we know that some of you guys don't get the chance to see or learn. And that's why we make it our business to always give you guys the real facts of what happens in the gaming community. Not just Madden, but there's a lot of other stuff we're privy to see and know because of the relationship with Madden. Is first thing I need you guys to do is, and some of you have done it and well informed, but some of you guys that are not, just go back and look at the history. Go back and look at what happened from Madden 06 through now. It'll answer a lot of your questions. And some of the things that we ask for are unreasonable. I'm not saying they're unreasonable as far as being an idea, but if you think of it from a business standpoint, do you really think Madden has the luxury of not producing a game every year? Like, I get it. Everybody says, oh, man, what if they had 2? But do you know what would happen? Man, what if they had 3? People still wouldn't be happy. But why do we get past the fact that these guys have a partnership with the NFL? And people don't realize how much influence the NFL has on Madden. Same reason why I see questions still come at my way, man. Why they don't let the helmets fly off anymore? Why they don't give you concussions? Come on, man. Are you watching the NFL? NFL ain't having that. And you've actually heard Ramon said this in one of them streams. Now the MLB, I can't remember what it was. He said they won't let us do that. It's the same for every company. Now, facts. These are facts. Madden is behind these other games. Everybody knows that. But what baffles me is how it seems like people seem to forget that. Like remember I said this a few years ago. I said, all right, if Madden, for those who say Madden has been trash for 6 years, how long is it going to take for it to be great? Think about that. If you felt that the game has been trash for 6, 7 years, how soon or how long will it take for them to be great? And my point is, if we all can acknowledge that they're behind, then we got to work from that standard. You feel what I'm saying? We got to work from that standard and say, all right, man, first y'all got to do is catch up to this. Case in point. All right, Madden, this year, I need to see that player movement take a leap, okay? I need to see that. Because now, all of these other games they're beating you in that area. Even NBA Live, in my opinion, in certain regards, seems to have better player movement as far as changing direction at times than Madden. Now, NBA Live is so choppy, the animations are ugly, but your FIFAs and your PES and NHL, which again, they're cheating because they're on ice. That's the term I like to always say. We don't know if they really sliding or not because they on ice. But UFC, for the most part, MLB, the player movement, it trumps Madden. So I need you got to get that right first. Okay, what's the next thing you got to do? I need the game to be a little more physical than what it is. What's the next thing they got to do? I need you to get rid of all of those not synchronized, but those two-man sequences. Guess what? The games that we are saying are the best still has those to some degree. 2K definitely has them. FIFA, a little less, but it's there. So what I'm saying is, if you look at it from a development standpoint and take away our frustration, I say our, because we're all, listen, nobody wants a better football game than I do. I mean, and I'm just saying that as a figure of speech. But at the end of the day, maybe that's the handicap I have in terms of being able to be on the same page sometimes with some of you guys, because I see the others, because I actually know what the deal is. Like, I know what's forthcoming. Let me just leave it at that. I know the stuff that they are going after. Let me say that. I'm going to say that one more time. It's hard for me and Smitty a lot of times to be on the same page. I'm keeping it all the way real with y'all. When I know what's forthcoming. Like, it's tough for me when somebody say, man, they ain't never going. I'm like, okay. They will. I don't know when, but they will. Trust me. A lot of this stuff, Smitty will remember this. A couple years ago, one of the guys told us, yeah, you'll probably see that right around this time. And a lot of that stuff we've seen it right on schedule. Like, oh, okay, you were right. So now, and I'm gonna blow y'all head right here. Pause. That's a pause statement. I'm gonna blow your mind. It's stuff that I'm waiting to see in Madden 21, because I already know it's following the cycle that you done told me already, and I'm seeing it. Okay, boom, 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 boom. It's going right along. But it might not be in the very next, your thing that you want, it might not be in the next one. Some of y'all, the thing you want might not be in 20. Some of y'all waiting, then here come 20. Oh, that's what I wanted right there. It's just, and listen, I'm not telling nobody to wait for that. I'm speaking theoretically here. I'm just saying, it's harder for me and Smitty to be in the same realm of, I don't believe in them. My beef, and we try to continue to say this, my beef is with the heads up top. My beef is with them. Are you gonna give this dev team the stuff that they showed me that's coming? Because let me tell you something else. There's stuff that we thought was coming, was in the works. We don't have time to finish it. And I'm like, oh no, don't do that to me, Lord, please. I'm coming to join you, honey. Like, and I'm like, no, man, why? And then, you know, you got to go through the, okay, all right, maybe we'll see that next year. And some of that stuff I saw in 18. You see what I'm saying? It's some stuff that I know that they had plans to get in 18. Couldn't get to it. And again, please never take what we're saying as, oh, they're just giving, no, I'm not giving them no pass. You see all the feedback videos and how much, you know, how much we speak with harshness here on the show. You know, we keeping it factual with them. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that. There's no sugarcoating stuff. But again, when I already know, it's harder for me to be so, oh, you suck. Oh, when I already know why what I'm seeing is happening. Now, y'all saw I was very vocal about the bugs in 18. Remember that? Because I was like, whoa, what's up with this? I think 18 was the most bug-ridden Madden that I've seen in a very long time. But I know why. I mean, I knew why after the fact, but I still had to point it out. Like, see, yeah, that's because, yeah, I know the situation with trying to get the frostbite and trying to do, I knew it. But some of the bugs that came out was crazy. So all I'm saying is, man, bottom line, if it ain't for you, don't buy it. And that's any game. I'm not talking about just Madden. Any game. Give your feedback. But I'm just saying, man, you're hurting your own head by just being so, like, I guess what I'm saying is, why is it that important? This should be a side thing. You know, you pick up your games and you enjoy them in your free time, but after that, you sit them down, go do something else. And that's just how I live. You know, like, I'm not expecting you guys to live the way I do. I'm just saying, that's how I don't get so wrapped up in it. Even if I wasn't in a position to where, oh, I know stuff, I still would handle it like this at this stage. Because it's like, at the end of the day, man, they either going to do it or they ain't. But I'm not going to sit around all year in my feelings about it. Like, I'm just saying, I see people doing that, man, tweeting at me every day. Like, dog, today, it's Friday, bruh. Why you so worried about Madden? You know, they either going to do it, and that's me keeping it 100. They either going to do it or they not. So, once August hits, shouts out to the homie. We got to always give a shout out to Antoine, man.
Antoine, what up, man?
Throwing the donations up in there. He's always coming
Definitely
through.
Appreciate you, man.
Always coming through heavy. We're going to throw a round of applause in there, too. And y'all confirm whether or not y'all can hear it. But,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. No, go ahead, man. I'm done. Okay. We almost done with the show here, but go ahead, man.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say real quick, you know, I feel where you're coming from, Jonathan, but see, this is the bottom line at the end of the day, fam. You got to understand is this. You wait for the game until you're satisfied with it. It's as simple as that. If it's not what you want it to be, don't get it. That's why yes, the same message is being said is because that's the message. That's the situation. Regardless of how we may personally feel about it, there's things that they need to do in the game, yes, and we know that the game needs to be much better than what it is. But it's going to take them time to get it done. And when you say the follow-up question, how much time? I don't know how much time it's going to take.
I don't know when you're going to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know when they're going to have the game there where it's there for you, where you say, this is it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I honestly don't know. We'll have to see. But that's why we continue to press the message that we've been pressing. That's how we got in the position we got in. We didn't get to this position by just saying, oh, well, it's all good. We're just going to let things go. Well, we're just going to cheerlead the game and that's it because it is what it is. No, it's like, this is a situation. We're going to be critical on the game. We're going to let it be known. But as we've talked about numerous shows past, there's layers to this. You know what I'm saying? there's levels to all of this stuff. There's corporate, there's investors, there's all kinds of stuff to this. It's not just as simple as give feedback, change it. Yeah, I wish it was that simple, but it's not. But that doesn't mean we don't quit pushing, because the more we push, the more that helps with bringing that internal voice inside where it's truly needed. So that's what we got to do. We got to keep on doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but shout out to Smooth.
Yes,
for the $5 donation, and like I said, Antoine again with the $20 donation. Shout out to y'all cats, man, and everybody else for coming through here. I know we're getting ready to wrap it up here, so we appreciate all of you guys. Of course,
round of applause. Let me know, guys, if y'all are hearing that, because Smitty hit me to a game last week. He said, "Oh, in OBS, if you have it running as a source, you won't hear it, but they'll hear it." So if you guys can confirm that. I think we do have a little more time, though, to still hit on. There was one other topic. Let me see. And again, guys, for whoever came in late, man, we got started late. We had, a meeting that we had to attend, so we apologize for that. And we can't do much more than an hour tonight. But let's see.
You want to talk about the NBA Live joint when I was talking about the live in the 2K?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to let Smitty run into that, and that'll be the last topic. The other thing we were going to talk about was season mode, but I don't think we're going to have time to get to that.
All right.
But one quick thing I wanted to say before Smitty wraps us up with that comment, that topic. Here's the thing, man. And I want to preference everybody with this even leading up to EA Play. I really don't understand the question when people say, well, how long should I... Well, listen, I'm gonna keep it brutally honest. Stop listening to what I gotta say. Don't go off of my opinion, man. I can't tell you when you're gonna like a game. I can't tell you how long to wait. I don't tell you when to buy it. Y'all know that's my policy. It happened with MLB The Show. As much as I'm enjoying that game, for you guys who come to my streams regularly, what I do? Somebody asked me in there, man, should I buy this game? I don't know, bro. I like it. I don't know if you will. And this is not just a Madden thing. We say this about everything. At least I know that's the way I conduct myself, because I don't know if you're going to like something. And the question of, well, how long should we wait? That's up to you. I've been telling people, do not buy the game if it's not up to your potential. Do not hit me with but it's the only football game. Well, then play it. I mean... I don't know what else to say. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm saying, because I see people, we're keeping it real here. I see people people have literally tried to blame me for their decision. I'm like, listen, bro. Don't go off of what Sim said. Now, for you guys who really rock with us and y'all know, I can kind of trust what his opinion. Definitely. I do that with some of y'all. Case in point. If NY Kia went and played, say, Madden before I did, and he was able to come back and give me his experience, and I'd be like, yeah, it's probably straight then, because I know Kia. I know how he gets down. I don't question Kia. I don't, but I'm saying, Kia, how long should I don't need to do all that, because I know he's giving me the real. I don't have to, and I trust in that, but I don't go and challenge him when the game comes out. And I don't like it. I ain't gonna run back to man. You told if he liked the game, he liked it. Maybe it's something that I won't like, and vice versa. So that's all I'm saying. We're here to be a voice for you guys. So don't turn on your back on us because you feeling like, oh man. Because on Twitter I seen some people saying, oh, you know what they gonna say when they get to EA, bruh. Me saying stuff to somebody from EA Play is for you. I can keep it all to myself. I don't get no enjoyment by saying what the game is. I don't help sell, man. Little do y'all know. My little contribution is not going to help the game sell. So even if they was using me and Smitty as means of sell the product, boy, their scouting department is trash. Because why would you come to our little chat? We can't help you, dog. You need to be hollering at Pootie Pie and these type of cats. Casey Nash, right. You need to go at the big boys or QJB with his 1 million subs. You see what I'm saying? Anto, that's who you need to sell your game. Not little old Sam. What I'm gonna do? What me and Smitty, what influence are we gonna have globally on YouTube? Come on, man. So it just kills me when, listen, people can oppose what I'm doing. I'm fine with that. I got plenty of people that disagree with stuff I do outside the game, and then I do whatever. Everybody's not gonna like you. It's the rule of 10. Some gonna love it, some gonna hate it, some in between. But my point is, when we're telling you the truth, like, we're doing this out of our own time and effort. All I'm saying is, you might want to listen to what these fellas are telling you, cause ain't nobody else doing it like us. Let's keep it. Let's stick your chest out for a little bit. Let's be real. Ain't nobody else doing what we doing, delivering this information. Cause a lot of them either never did that or they get tired of the headache. Cause believe me, sometimes I could use a few Excedrin. Reading Twitter, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, there they go at me, blaming me again. But why would we subject ourselves to all of this? If I were you, just listen to what we're saying. We never gonna lie. Because guess what? It's all on tape. There's no way I could lie. Or there's no way I could be out there, waving pom-poms. It's all recorded. You could all go back and say, see, look right there, you were selling out. And I'd have to be like, I guess he's right. So that's all I'm saying, man. I just wanted to say that, man. Look. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Right. Yeah, no, it is, man. But, what I will say just real quick is, I mean, I would piggyback off of that. I mean, you pretty much hit the hammer on the head. I know, I already see the chat. But that's why I'm looking.
Here's the funny thing. I'm gonna call.
I ain't even doing it.
I'm gonna call him out real quick. And I know it's just you're just baiting, but I'm gonna give you your 5 seconds of fame. The funny thing is, here's the funny thing. Cats like you still come around. Why?
That's true.
Why?
Oh, wait till June. Wait till June.
That's beyond, dog. Let's keep it a buck. That's beyond corny. If I felt like somebody told me some trash, why would I be in here watching them? Look at yourself in the mirror, fam. That's all I'm saying. I ain't got time. I'm telling y'all got a different sim now, man. I don't have time for the dunts. Like, get out of here, man. All right, go ahead, Smith. Let's close this show out, man.
I said want to say real quick about, like I said, I was saying real quick about live in 2K, okay? Like this kind of correlates to the whole point of the whole perfection with the game, but not just perfection with the game. It's the cheerleading aspect of the game, so to speak, where it's like you turn a blind eye to one game that's clearly behind because you enjoy said game. But when you play the other title, and dude was in my stream and everything, I was going back and forth with, and he was like, he did a stream where he played live and he played 2K. Live, he was going buck wild. Absolutely just enthusiastic. OMG, look how hyped this game is, blah, blah, blah. And then he popped in NBA 2K and he acted like everything is wrong. You know what I'm saying? He acted like every single thing that's in 2K. I mean, he's up here taking contested layups, getting bad releases on jumpers, exposing the ball to the defense, and it gets knocked away. And then he says, oh, here comes the bump steals. Like, he was doing all kinds of things wrong in his gameplay. But then when I do the stream and he was talking about James Harden, and I was saying that if you have a cover player, James Harden, the cover guy, I said out of all the players that they have captured in the game, which they have them captured to a degree, not that, it's more of a base game with Live 18. It's not fully there. I was saying at least James Harden should be fully replicated out of everyone, okay? And he isn't. I popped in 2K and shown that clearly. And
hold on, wait. Are you talking bad about EA or are you defending them?
I was talking bad.
Hold on.
I was talking bad about it.
But Smitty, That's against protocol. I'm gonna have to report you, Smitty, because we cannot talk bad about EA Sports ever.
Yeah.
Okay? We can't do that. So I don't want nothing to do with this, Smitty. I'm signing off. Oh God.
No, man. But like, we was just having a discussion, and I was just like, you know what? People get emotionally charged, and that's like what Sim brought up earlier about MLB The Show. People get emotionally charged and attached to the game and say, oh, but they should have all these things in the game. But you also have people that think that the game can't do anything wrong. And that's how some people act. That's the biggest thing that I don't like, that I have the issue with, the conflict with when it comes to NBA Live community, is that you have some guys that act like nothing's wrong. Very little is wrong. Oh, it's all good. Like, big time problems, they're like, oh, you know, it's okay. Oh, well, yeah, they got an issue, but then when they see it in 2K, I mean, they ready to just shut the game off and delete it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if we're going to do all this stuff, we got to keep it a buck, especially when you open that box and say, oh, they got everything's in Live. It's all there. And what are you talking about? They don't have this. And
Live got the biggest fanboys I ever seen.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. So that's my whole point. That's the point that I was just trying to make real quick about that. I was showing it because at the end of the day, just like we talk about Madden, we showcase the game. We let the game do the talking at the end of the day. I could play Live, play 2K. The game could do all the talking. I'm not concerned about somebody's personal opinion at the end of the day, because if you show me, if I got the game showing you literally what the problem is, there it is. There's nothing more to say. I'm showing, like, I literally was debating with dudes back and forth about an aspect of the game I could not show in Live because the game doesn't have the functionality to do it. And then I was able to easily show it in 2K. So, like, we were debating like 10, 15 minutes over doing a spin move because of how it's done in Live and the limitations they have on it versus how you can do more with it in 2K. See what I'm saying? So that's what said, like, dude said, you can't do a spin move in 2K without losing the ball. Like, well, you're not paying attention to what you're doing then, because I did it multiple times. I set dudes up off of it and everything. I'm like, yeah, you can do it. You got to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, man. It was kind of, like I said, that was kind of a piggyback point off of what Sim was talking about earlier. So, but
yeah, man,
I'll throw it to you, man. We'll close it out, brother.
Yeah, we'll get ready to close. But it's interesting, man, when you look at the different opinions, that this is why things are hard in general. Because shout outs to Game Wise. He says he thinks the physics engine ruins the game, just looks wonky. But here's the problem. Would you prefer them to continue to build on the physics? Which, this is my opinion. I think it's gotten better. I've had people tell me that the physics were better in 13. I don't think so. Not as far as the clunkiness and all of that. I think it's gotten to its best point so far, with 17 and 18 a little questionable. But I think at least up to 17, we had seen the best part of it. But would you want them to continue to do that, or go back to scripted physics, scripted animation? You got to remember, this is something Smitty has always mentioned. I give Smitty the full credit. Even way back with Live. Why did Live look so wonky way back then? Because they tried to free up them animations and allow physics to take over more. Why did 2K look so good? Because 2K chained animations together. When you go with raw physics, it's not going to be cute at first. Think about Backbreaker. As beautiful as Backbreaker was at times, wasn't it times when you was like, ooh, that was a little wonky? Come on, man. We're talking about a system that's replicating this. Like, you see what I'm saying? You're replicating the force and the limpness, so to speak, in my arm to push it. That's not an easy thing to do. Some games have gotten a little better with it, and Madden has improved with it. If you think about it, some of the tackles, there are times where you see the physics kick in, but there's times when you're like, physics didn't always be accounted for. Now see, those are the things that me and Smitty are fighting for. Things like Physics is in the game now. Now let's make it work at all times, everywhere. 11 on 11. Let's get momentum meaning more. Let's get physical stature meaning more. Your mass, leverage. You know, I use this example all the time. A 200-pound strong safety should be able to knock Sue on his butt. And well, he's on defense, but you know what I'm saying. Let's say somebody like Tyron Smith, the big boy for Cowboy, the lineman. So little guy like Tyron Matthew should be able to knock him over if he catches him with 1 foot up in the air. He ain't got no leverage. I don't care if the man is 360 pounds. You push him, he should hit the floor. If you can get that stuff to work in the game, along with player movement, and then you start working on your animation transitions so the way it's not chaining again, whole nother ball game. Like, just think about that. If those things were in Madden right now, how much better would the game be? And that's my argument when people try to say it's pure trash. And I'm like, why? Tell me why. I can tell you what I don't like about the game, which I would say I don't like this. But if they fixed that, I don't think you saying the game is trash. And think about if those things is not really a huge list. Those things are going to happen. I really believe that. I don't know exactly when, but the list has gotten shorter. So that's what me and Smitty are focusing on right now. The biggest pieces of our feedback: player movement, mass, weight, momentum, physics, playing at all times, players' relative position. You fix that stuff, the game is out of here, just on the field. Then you can add all the other little elements, likeness, you know, the replicating players, not, you know, signature style. You can do all of that once that's done. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my point right there, man. I guess we can go ahead and end it with that. I'm glad we were able to extend the show a little bit longer than expected. Again, man, we apologize for, you know, the lateness, but we had something to attend to. Fortunately, we try to be as professional as possible, guys, but hey, we do this in our spare time, so sometimes you got to bear with us. All right, but that's going to do it for tonight. Tonight. And, hey, hold on. Let me see one other thing. All right, Kirk, listen, I'm going to give you some friendly advice, Kirk. Just stop following us, man. I mean, I'm just keeping it a buck.
Bro, I've been on a Skype call with this guy. Every single game he makes, he hates. So I mean, yeah, he showcased that. So I'm not worried about that. He said Fight Night sucks and everything. So I'm like, bruh, he lost me on that when he said Fight Night champion. So he's like, oh man, all the games suck. Okay, you're good then. Well, I know exactly what you about, man. That's why I ain't worried about it. Like
I said, normally I don't pay no attention to it. I don't do it on social media. You guys notice that. Well, you know, when it's a live show, I will entertain it from time to time. So that's my friendly advice. You know, stop listening to what I have to say. Stop listening to what Smitty have to say. And because what I don't understand from men in general, men and women, but we're talking about men now. And regardless of your age, if you're 15 all the way up to 60, what I never will understand about a man is being worried about what somebody else is doing and try to tell them how to do something. I don't get that. I wasn't raised like that. My pops didn't raise me like that. We can have a disagreement. Let's say me and Smitty didn't agree on something. But I'm not going to, and I know Smitty wouldn't. He ain't going to worry himself to death about, he's just going to be like, all right, I don't agree. That's it. I never understand. Let me say this one last time. We'll end the show on that. I will never understand a grown man or even a young adult. Why are you so concerned about how somebody else is representing themselves? If you don't agree, dip. That's how I do. There's plenty of people out there. Have y'all noticed some of y'all I don't talk to on Twitter? Let's just be real. You doing your thing, I'm doing mine. I'm good. I ain't concerned. I ain't concerned about who's saying what, even though I get reported. People tell me all the time, you know, so-and-so. Oh, I wouldn't have known that unless you told. I don't care. Because I've disconnected from that. So that's all I'm saying. It's because you respect the sim football. Yeah, but so what I'm saying, again, if you respect it, stop trying to act like stop trying to dictate what you want us to be. Let us be who we are. whatever that is, you know, whatever it is you're thinking, let us be that. You know, and like my man Spectrum said here, Spectry Bug, bro, you just need to just stop worrying about EA and move on. But all right, that's it. I didn't want to keep going on that, but
yeah, it's gonna be the same circle. Just forget it. Man.
But anyway, guys, y'all, we haven't done that in a while. But you know, sometimes listen, it's all family here, it's all love. Sometimes you know you got to tell your people when they doing, you know. Like, hold on, man. You know, like, hold on now. Like, why you doing all of that? Recognize the wrong in what you're doing. You know, you pointing the finger at everybody else. Well, look at how you conducting yourself, though. So that's all I got to say. So we'll see you guys later, man. We appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Hey, man, if you like what we're doing here, make sure you give us a nice little thumbs up there. Like the video or dislike the video because we like to see real feelings. So there you have it. So we'll holler at you guys later. Hope everybody has a safe, happy Easter, safe weekend. Be blessed, and we'll catch you guys later. All right? Peace.
Peace.